It was a dusty Saturday at the county livestock auction, and there, parked between a pen of bleeding goats and a rusted hay shredder, sat a gleaming silver Mercedes SUV, looking as out of place as a supermodel at a tractor pull. A cow was lazily chewing on its windshield wiper, and the crowd, farmers in overalls, kids with corn dogs, and an auctioneer with a grin wider than the Mississippi, couldn't stop laughing. Phones were out, recording the spectacle, as someone hollered, $50 for the cow hauler. Another shouted, does it come with a stall for my pigs? I stood there, half hidden behind a bale of hay, heart pounding with a mix of guilt and glee. That SUV belonged to Lisa, the woman who'd pushed me to the edge. And this was her reckoning. Rewind to the day before, and you'd find me on the verge of losing it. Lisa had parked her fancy Mercedes in my feed store's loading zone again. Third time this month. My family's shop, Miller's Feed Va Supply, had served VY-VED floods, recessions, and a power outage that lasted 10 days, but couldn't serve VYV another missed delivery. We had 1,500 pounds of pellets, hay, and supplements due that morning, already paid for by farmers who'd be picking up by noon. Timing in the livestock business is everything. One delay, and you don't just lose a sale, you lose trust. So when Lisa's SUV blocked our only loading dock, and my driver called saying he'd have to reroute or risk a ticket, I was done playing nice. I'd asked her to move, polite as could be. Ma'am, I've got a delivery coming. Can you park somewhere else? She just stared at me over her oversized sunglasses, sipping a neon green smoothie, and said, why don't you just carry it around my car? No shame, no hesitation. I bit my tongue, smiled, and said, sure thing. But that was the last kind word I'd give her. Lisa was the kind of person who parked across 4 spaces of the grocery store, who'd once screamed at a delivery guy for disturbing her Pilates VYB. She wore fur vests in June, claimed she was allergic to dust but only on weekends, and had a thing for Image always strutting to the boutique down the street. Leah VYing her SUV in my zone like a throne. I tried everything. Signs, notes, even a warning that the zone was towable. She'd just laugh, toss her hair, and say, I'm friends with the mayor, honey. Last time, she left a sticky note on my feed bin that read, VIP parking for actual taxpayers. That was it. I called my buddy Jake, who ran a towing company for farm equipment. Over burgers that night, I spilled the whole story. He leaned back, wiped barbecue sauce off his chin, and said, ever heard of the livestock auction? I thought he was joking. He wasn't. The county's biggest auction was that weekend, and the lot doubled as overflow storage for towed vehicles. Unclaimed cars left over 24 hours could be roped off as display for charity, bids not sold, just mocked. It was legal, low-key, and perfect. Lisa didn't read signs. We planned it out. She'd park as usual. Jake would tow her SUV to the auction, and we'd let the cows and chaos do the rest. No damage, no theft, just a lesson she'd never forget. We checked the legal boxes. Signs were up, the tow was justified, and the auction crew was in on it, promised not to sell the car. Friday morning, I was sweeping the sidewalk, eyes on the street. At 9:05, Lisa's Mercedes rolled in, bass thumping some techno remix of Ocean Waves. She stepped out, sunglasses the size of dinner plates, heels clicking, and said, don't touch my car with your dusty brooms. Then she sashayed into the boutique. I waited 5 minutes, then called Jake. His crew was there in 4, hooking up her SUV like pros. By the time Lisa came back, smoothie in hand, scrolling her phone, the spot was empty. She froze, looked around, then muttered, must have auto-parked. She wandered the block, heels wobbling, confusion growing. I played dumb, even offered to help look. When she asked if I'd seen anything, I shrugged. These new cars, they just drive off sometimes. By noon, she'd called the cops, who told her the car was towed legally and gave her the auction's address. Her assistant was out of town, her Uber app glitched, so she begged a guy in a pickup to drive her. Poor man didn't know he was chauffeuring a hurricane. When Lisa arrived at the auction, she stepped into a scene straight out of a comedy. Farmers haggling over bulls, kids chasing chickens, and her Mercedes parked next to a prize hog, a sign duct taped to it. Lot 42, City Slicker Special. The auctioneer, Tom, was VYing a blast. Folks, we got a beauty here. All-terrain ego, fueled by lattes and bad decisions. The crowd roared. Someone bid 2 hens and a rake. Another yelled, "Does it play Beyoncé for the sheep?" Lisa stormed through, oblivious to the cow dung on her heels, screaming, "This is theft. I'll sue you all." She yanked at the door, but Jake's team had disabled the locks for security. A goat started licking her bumper, and she shrieked like it was a lion. Tom, chewing sunflower seeds, said, "Ma'am, the livestock ain't bothered. Maybe your car needs a therapist." The crowd lost it. A deputy explained the tow was legal parked in a red zone. Signs clear as day, but Lisa wasn't hearing it. She waved her arms, accused Tom of rural sabotage, and swore she'd shut the auction down. Then a goat headbutt her ankle. Someone filmed it. By dusk, the clip was VY Rao, captioned, "Even the goats hate her." Back at the store, I refreshed my phone, watching the VYUs climb. A radio station picked it up. A caller said Lisa threatened to sue the chickens. Memes flooded the internet. Her SUV with cartoon horns, captioned, "The Lisa Mobile charges." She tried to fight back, posting a rant on the HOA page, calling it a coordinated attack on her status. She claimed the goat was a biohazard, and the auction gave her PTSD from barnyard noises. The comments were brutal. Goat emojis, VY Deo links, and one guy saying, "Wish you'd parked in my driveway. I'd have towed you to Narnia." She disabled comments, but screenshots spread like wildfire. Lisa doubled down, announcing a community forum to address hostility toward refined women. Then VYT, in Comic Sans, called the incident a hate crime disguised as hick humor. At the meeting, she stood with a stack of blurry screenshots, accusing me of livestock manipulation and demanding my store be relocated where tractors belong. The room was packed, not with supporters but spectators. Old Man Jenkins, the HOA's grumpiest member, grabbed the mic and said, "Lady, if you hate farmers, move out of town named Wheatfield." When she demanded a fine for emotional vandalism, someone shouted, "Apologize to the loading zone first." The room erupted in applause. Lisa stormed out, clutching a plastic goat someone handed her as a gag. The story didn't stop. A mural went up downtown. Lisa screaming, a goat grinning, her SUV labeled Lot 42. Tourists snapped photos. My store sold Respect the Zone shirts with a goat silhouette. Business boomed, new customers, a coffee corner, even field trips from schools. A kid drew me with a goat, writing, "Funny and kind beats mean and loud." That sketch hangs by my register. Lisa? She sold her Mercedes, drives a gray sedan now, and parks perfectly. Rumor says she switched HOAs twice to escape the jokes. I never saw her again, and I didn't need to. The town had spoken. A year later, the loading zone's a landmark. The sign reads, "No parking. Violators towed to auction." Pranksters leave rubber goats by the curb. A TV crew filmed a segment the day entitlement got towed, with a stunt goat named Buster. I got a package on C Note, just a toy SUV with a goat glued to it. I laughed for days. The story's bigger than me now. It's about standing up with wit, not fists, when someone treats your space like trash. Every so often, a new Lisa tests the zone, but I just point to the sign and say, "You don't want to be Lot 42. They move. Fast. So what do you think? Was I wrong to tow her car, or did Lisa deserve every second of that goat fuel chaos? Should entitled folks like her get a pass? Or is a public lesson the only way they learn? And if you were me, would you have stopped at the tower, gone bigger? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button if you're Team Goat, and subscribe for more stories where karma comes with hooves. Let's hear it.